Joining NewsNation is Brandon Robinson, who has a career of 20 years in the sports and entertainment industries. His podcast, Scoop B Radio, has streamed 2.1 million times, and his guests include Shaquille O'Neal, Mark Cuban. Brandon, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, brother.
All right, I want to get your thoughts first on the protest as a whole. Do you think it was necessary, and do you think it had the effect the players in the league really thought that it would as that got started earlier in the week?
It's a start. Anytime you have something like this, you need to have a plan. And I think that the plan was racial equality and, I guess, normal rights that are everyday things. And I think it started really and truly with the Milwaukee Bucks and their quest to get their voices heard. I can tell you that Mandela Barnes, the lieutenant governor in Milwaukee, did speak with the Bucks and told the Bucks not to protest and to focus on legislature and voter rights. And that's been a buzzword over the last few days. And now with all 30 NBA teams in their arena serving as voting centers. Chris Paul is another guy who was the president of the Players Association. He got all of his teammates on Oklahoma City Thunder registered to vote. It's one thing to talk about it. It's a completely separate entity to be about it. And it seems like it's a start. And it was a short strike. And here we are on a Saturday playing some basketball.
Brandon, you mentioned Milwaukee. How important was it for the Bucks to get started because this happened, the shooting there in Kenosha, so close to Milwaukee?
I mean, I would say that it was kind of the hometown team taking care of hometown issues. It would kind of be different if you had the Toronto Raptors boycotting or striking first, or the Boston Celtics boycotting or striking first. Their game will be on Sunday. But Milwaukee knows Milwaukee politics, or Wisconsin. The state of Wisconsin knows Wisconsin politics. So it needed to happen from there. And what bigger voice than George Hill of the Bucks or Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is the Defensive Player of the Year this year, coming full force. I think it was a step in the right direction for the Bucks. Race
relations continues to be top of mind for not just basketball, but for many pro athletes. Why is this?
Because they look like some of the things that they see on TV. Listen, a lot of these guys would be far removed, potentially, from being shot 7 times. And I say that with reservation because the Milwaukee Bucks have Sterling Brown on their team, and he dealt with an issue. You have Dalvin Cephalosha, who dealt with something some years ago. But I think that when you see somebody that looks like you and they're going through some things that are just crazy, you got to speak up. You know, going to the days where you hear Michael Jordan say, you know, Republicans wear sneakers too. I think we're at a point or the precipice of, you know, merging that Jordan era with the Jim Browns, who and the Muhammad Ali's who stood up during the civil rights movement. And, you know, social media platforms that everybody has and their voices needed to be heard. And I think this is a step in the right direction, but we still have a long way to go.
And the NBA is allowing players to put things on the back of their jerseys. My question to you, and we've got to wrap, so about 10 seconds. What can the league, what can players do next to improve race relations in the United States?
Going forward, I spoke to Mark Cuban about it, one of the Mavericks. He likes the idea. Players who I've spoken to want to see more than just things on the back of their jerseys. I'll leave it there.
All right. Brandon, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Again, his podcast, Scoop B Radio. Thanks so much, buddy.
My man, thanks for having me.
And this is Scoop B Radio saying, you bring the coffee and I'll bring the Dunkin'. Kaboom!